Going too quick, Adam.
Okay. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our Celebrating Adam meeting. So we'll just start with a round of introductions. So I'm Laura Armitage, the Springboard project lead. We've got Helen Pullen.
Hi, I'm Helen Pullen from Safe Opportunities. We set up the work placements for Adam.
Then we've got Adam and his mum Zoe.
Hi there, this is Adam. I'm Zoe, his mum.
Zoe Macy.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Zoe Macy from Cheshire East, Supported Internship Coordinator.
We've got the Thermark gang.
So I'm Vicky, Company Director. This is James Jump, formerly known as Jumpy, who is a job aide for Adam, and Tom is also a job aide for Adam. They work in different areas of the building, so it's important to have them both.
Wonderful. And Grow and Achieve.
Hi, I'm Jo Ingram. I'm CEO of Grow and Achieve, and this is Team Grow and Achieve too. Laura,
job coach,
and Kerry,
occupational therapist.
Wonderful. Thanks everybody for joining us today. So just for anybody who doesn't know, the Springboard project is a supported internship programme for 16 to 19-year-olds with learning difficulties. We are funded by Cheshire East at Springfield School, and as Helen said, Safe Opportunities set up our placements and Grow and Achieve supply our job coaches. So it really is a whole team effort. Adam is there working away as he always does. So because of Adam's disability, he isn't able to communicate in this meeting because of his understanding of language. So he's going to be there and we will hopefully be able to represent him beautifully. So thank you everybody for joining us. So first of all, Zoe mum, can you tell us a bit about Adam?
Adam, where do you start? There's lots to say about Adam. Just briefly, Adam regressed at the age of 2.5 and was diagnosed as being profoundly autistic and non-verbal. Adam at that stage did not cope with the outside world at all. So as parents, we concentrated on developing Adam's strengths, and it's been a long and difficult journey. Through time though, Adam has developed into a very well mannered, capable, adaptable and intelligent young man. Wherever Adam goes, he manages to melt hearts and inspire. Adam loves nothing better to be busy and productive. He also has many hobbies and it's hard to keep up with him. As you can see. So that's a little bit about him.
Wonderful, thanks Zoe. And you've made me cry in the first bit, so that really sets the barrier for the rest of the meeting.
I don't want to make any that'll start.
They're very proud tears. So back to you again, Zoe. Why did you support Adam to apply? Obviously, Adam couldn't make the decision himself about the Springboard project, and you were the driving force behind that. Why did you do that?
During the last year of Adam's course at college, we began to have transitional meetings about what was next, and to be honest, there wasn't actually a lot out there for Adam, and it was quite challenging to us as parents to decide what to do. And then in the last meeting we had, the Springboard project was we were told about it quite late on, and also I think total people, an internship maybe there was mentioned as well. After weighing everything up, we decided to try and get Adam a placement with the Springboard project because it was practically based, and when we went for the interview, it really kind of suited Adam's needs best, and we knew he if he did get offered a place, he'd do very well.
Absolutely. Oh, sorry.
As you can see, he just likes to be busy. So, you know, we knew he would be just really capable of paid employment if somebody would give Adam a chance. Yeah.
Thanks, Zoe. So obviously we all vividly remember Adam's interview. We remember the young man coming in And Mum there right by his side, and it was an absolute pleasure meeting Adam. And I remember as he walked out, we all said, "That's it. Anybody, any reasons why we can't?" And we couldn't find any reason not to give Adam the opportunity. And how glad we are that we did that. Adam at the Hub was so hardworking when he came to the kind of class-based. We worked on communication, but also on his being part of a team. And Adam thrived. There he is smiling away. Adam thrived as part of a team. The academic side wasn't necessarily appropriate for Adam, but we made sure that he was there and included as part of the group, and he really did well with that. So Helen Pullen, obviously you were involved in setting up the work placements. Could you just go through Adam's journey up to meeting his current employer?
Yeah, so before Adam started at Thermark, when he very first started on the programme, we set him up with Asbury Park Rangers, and he enjoyed going and doing the outdoor work. He enjoyed, obviously, because it was very practical, very keeping fit and being outdoors. So he was clearing pathways, making bird boxes, doing outdoor, working with the park rangers in Congleton. So we did that for a while, but we also wanted to add to that. So we set him up at Asda in Northwich, and he used to go there 3 days a week, and he was brilliant there. He could sort out products, go into the back, work out what was needed off the shelves, go into the back, load it up onto the trolleys, come back, match the items. Obviously, he struggled with the reading, but he used to match up the words and the shapes of the items and then match them onto the shelves. And he also rotated the stock round. He had a T-shirt on which said that he's non-verbal, but he did greet customers in his own way, and then pass them over to members of staff who could help with that. So we did that for quite a long time, but unfortunately we went into lockdown, so we weren't able to return him there because of Asda's COVID rules. But we also set him up at the cafe on North Street. He used to do one morning a week there, and they absolutely loved him. They thought it was brilliant because Adam used to go in, they'd give him a list of jobs, and he used to do things like going around cleaning all the tables and chairs, getting all the menus ready, putting them on the tables, and he'd do little bits of washing up and helping out. But they were blown away by how able Adam was, because he used to go with a member of staff, but they would just sort of sit back, and Adam would, once he learnt the job, he would just do it on his own. So again, he really enjoyed that. Unfortunately, again, due to the lockdown in March last year, that wasn't able to continue, and then obviously the rest is from moving on to Thermark after that.
So the common theme was hardworking, quick learner. So Zoe, over to you, Zoe Macy. You identified Thermark as a potential placement employer for Adam. How did you come across this business?
Well, it was the most professional of meetings, Laura.
Of course, I would no less.
So what happened is I was just, at the field watching my little 4-year-old play football, and I was stood next to Vicky from Thermark, and we did know each other a little bit, but we didn't know lots about what we did as jobs, and we just got talking. So Vicky said, what do you do as a job? So there I did. I got my supported internship banner out, and I told Vicky all about supported internships and what my role was at Cheshire East, obviously supporting colleges and schools with the supported internship programme. And we talked about how supported internships are different to work experience. It's about getting it's learning real skills for a real job. You have a job coach that helps develop those skills, and then obviously fade that support, so the young person's independent in the workplace. And Vicky was like, "Oh, this sounds brilliant. This sounds a great programme." And this when we sort of had this conversation, it was about October 2019. So it wasn't long after Adam had actually started on the supported internship programme. So then Vicky told me then what she did, and obviously she runs Thermark. She told me about the manufacturing company, the fact that they're based in a warehouse. A lot of the roles are very systematic, very repetitive. And she said, it sounds great, and actually something that I think we'd be really interested in getting on board. So it was just a real chance conversation, really. So then I went to meet Vicky, meet Nevin and Ross at Thermark. And it was at that point, Vicky, you were moving premises, weren't you? You were getting ready to sort of expand.
Yeah.
So it wasn't exactly that we're going to be running a supported internship that year, but looking at the next academic year. But all I was thinking was, I've got this brilliant person in my mind, Adam, who we know is hardworking, we know he's reliable, we know he works best with routines. He'd have a job coach that'd be able to demonstrate visually, demonstrate what he would need to do. Anyway, like Helen said, we went into lockdown. So me and Vicky had spoke about a supported internship to start in September 2020. There wasn't a young person identified at this point. But then obviously, because we went into lockdown and we were able to extend Adam's supported internship beyond the 2019-20 academic year. So Adam was able to continue September to Christmas on the supported internship, which then meant actually there was an opportunity at Fairmark. And because Adam wasn't able to go back to Asda, it was a perfect opportunity for Adam to actually to go and try out Fairmark and go and have a look at what they're all about. And it's worked out brilliantly. So yeah, it's been a strange a strange journey really of how we've got to know Fairmark, but how brilliant and supportive they've been, and given Adam an absolutely fantastic opportunity, and Fairmark an excellent employee.
Absolutely. And I think that's it's exactly the same, from our point of view. That's the reason we offered the placement in the first place, was because of all those skills that you've all just mentioned. And obviously that's what you look for in an employee, so we could be quite confident with that, and with the additional support of the job coaches, that we would get a good person to fit the job role that we could offer. So it was a bit of a no-brainer for us.
Wonderful. And that's amazing to hear from an employer, because I remember Helen and I coming to meet you, Vicky and Neville, and honestly, we walked away, and I think Helen had maybe never met an employer quite as willing to overlook potential barriers, anything that was put in place. Well, actually, Adam can't do this, or Adam can't, but he can do that. And you just took it all on absolutely without any hesitation. And I think we probably drove off. Because I'm a very, I live in a very idealistic world where there's no reason you wouldn't offer a job. Helen's a bit more realistic than me sometimes, I must admit. And Helen probably drove off thinking, yeah, they're not going to get in touch. And what would you know? It all just happened. And I think fate did make this happen. In that if that conversation hadn't happened at the football game, then we wouldn't all be having this meeting right now. So there are reasons not to employ him, but for all of those reasons, there are hundreds of reasons more to give Adam an opportunity. So thank you, Fairmark, for that. Jo Ingram, how did you choose a job coach? Because initially Adam had somebody else, and she's actually on the wall in a photo behind Adam. So Adam was supported by a lady called Fern, who'd been his PA in his previous placements, and then you got involved a bit later in his journey. So how did you find the right person for Adam?
So we liaised lots with yourself, and we looked at Adam's strengths and Adam's needs, and we also looked at the information we had off Helen and the work placement, and we kind of had that contact with Vicky as well, to find out how to match. So the initial job coach had Makaton experience, so we used Kaylee initially, and then with Laura, she was introduced because of her experience with autism and with working with a range of settings, a lot of male dominated warehouse settings as well. So we thought that would be kind of the best match. So it was all about matching the job coach to Adam, and who will best suit Adam in that environment.
Wonderful, thank you. So Laura, you've just been mentioned there. Can you just tell us a bit about your role with Adam in the workplace, what you actually did?
Yeah, so initially I shadowed Kaylee for the first three weeks before she left. That was just for consistency for Adam, so it wasn't too much of a drastic change, a new person, obviously new setting for him. And then I just continued with the routine that Hayley had established with Adam from the offset. Obviously supported him through the systematic instruction techniques that we use and sabotaging, just to encourage his confidence and see sort of how he responded to those situations. Obviously, we created task analyses for all the different jobs Adam does at Fairmark. And from that, it was easy for us to identify what areas he was becoming independent with, and what areas he was still requiring the support with. So that's when we introduced the gradual withdrawal plan, just to see how Adam responded. which obviously turned out to be perfect and worked really well. It was only needed to be adapted like a couple of times just to support the needs of Adam and what he was doing that day. And then, yeah, so obviously from all of that, he was then offered the paid employment at Thermark. And following on from that, myself and Daz, another job coach, went in there just to support Adam with the induction process. So there we staged like physical tasks for him into pictorial tasks, just to see again how he was responding, just to allow him to understand the policies as much as he possibly could. Obviously, we got lots of testimonies from ourselves and the staff that work closely with him, and lots of risk assessments. And yeah, so through that process, obviously myself, Kaylee and Daz all worked with the guys at Thermark, the people that work with Adam closely, just to try and support those to support Adam like ongoing. So different like how to demonstrate things to him and how to communicate everything across to him the best way we all felt possible. And yeah, that's it really. But obviously just a wonderful journey to be a part of. Adam is absolutely amazing. And again, the employer, like you say, so like accommodating and just wonderful, yeah.
It is. We worked very closely with Vicky and Laura did throughout.
And obviously the guys that work with Adam, the closest in the warehouse. Yeah, so obviously they're all so supportive and amazing there. So it's just been a wonderful recipe for Adam, and now he's in the perfect position.
Wonderful, thank you very much. So, Vicky, some employers can sometimes be a bit reluctant to take on an intern with a job coach. They see it as 2 extra bodies, and particularly during COVID it wasn't allowed. But going forward, how did you find having an intern and a job coach?
It was literally only ever a benefit to us, and it gave us confidence in the placement, you know, as well as obviously, like we said before, the skills that you were all confident that Adam had. But no, it was fantastic, and Laura, Daz and Kaylee have all worked so hard. And I think the plans that you get from the job coach is brilliant, because as the employer, you then know when to expect those extra people in the building, how many hours for, what they're looking for, what they're going to assess. And that meant that we could communicate very openly with yourself, Laura. You know, anything that we spotted along the way, or any of the guys kind of raised with me, it was a case of, all right, we'll go and, you know, speak to Laura and let's see what we can do about that. So yeah, it was never a distraction or a disruption for us, was it?
Never.
Really ever good.
Never was.
Yeah.
Wonderful, thank you. So just to explain then, so Adam started with you in the start of the new academic year, and by Christmas we were at the point of discussing contracts of employment. So we had meetings like this and we all got together, and Zoe suddenly realised that Adam was going to need his own bank account, because this had never even crossed our minds, because all of a sudden he was at that point of paid employment. We wanted to make sure that Adam maintained that, and we just all got together to sort out an access to work application for Adam moving into paid employment. So he'd had the job coach support through, and that was able to be withdrawn. But we just wanted to make sure, as was mentioned before, that the induction process, because it is a lengthy induction and there's more in there than I'd say reasonable adjustments would allow. So employers are expected to make reasonable adjustments, but the amount of support that Adam would have needed to understand the induction process would have been well above and beyond what Thermark would have been able to offer. Is that fair, Zoe?
That's at me.
Sorry, Zoe Cheshire East, not Zoe Mum.
Sorry, yeah, I was just waiting for the Zoe Macy, not Zoe Mum call.
I know.
Yeah, that was exactly right, wasn't it? And the other thing I think we looked at was the fact that we were breaking up for Christmas, so there was like a 3 or 4 week sort of window. And although we were confident that the support during the supported internship with the job coach had faded, we felt that actually applying for just some additional support just to for January, and like with the induction process, like you said, would be really beneficial. Yeah, and there were just some things that were above and beyond that would need to be just put in place for Adam to make sure it was a success for everybody. Yeah. So
Grow and Achieve, you provided the induction support, and then that handed over to the 2 Thermark men there. So How has it been for, I've gone off my script now, I'm sorry, I'm just jumping all over the place. I'll come back to you in a minute, Kerry. Sorry to keep you waiting. So James, you've taken on this official mentoring role. How has this affected your day-to-day working life?
To be honest with you, it's not really changed it too dramatically because Adam's just so good at what he does. So it's just the odd, just keep an eye on him, check that he's okay. Anything that he needs, we've got little cards, so he comes and asks us if he's not got something, if he needs it. But genuinely, it hasn't really changed it a great deal because he's just good at what he does. So.
Absolutely. And Tom, what is it like having Adam as a colleague?
I think he's brilliant. I mean, he just cracks on with it. He comes in, before you know it, he's done several jobs. You've got no more for him, and it's like, oh, finding things for him to do.
Catching up. Okay.
That's what it used to be like at the hub. All of a sudden, I'd just go and spill some flour on the floor because I needed something for him to do. So we just needed to hoover or something. He is so quick and so efficient. I think compared to other employees, potentially, Adam, you know, he's non-verbal. He's not going to get caught up in all of the arrive at work and have a chat about the weekend. He's in there. He's there to do a job. So actually, he's the perfect employee in that way. So sorry, Kerry, back to you. So you've been involved more recently with Adam. Can you just explain your role?
Yeah, so I got involved really right at the end of Adam's journey, and visited kind of Thermark on site just to see kind of how Adam was managing within his kind of day-to-day tasks at Thermark, and just before kind of Grow and Achieve together obviously withdrew that job coach support. So things that I was looking at in terms of my role as an OT was just kind of, is Adam as competent, as safe and as independent in those day-to-day tasks that he's doing with support from the guys. What was really clear is just from spending kind of a few hours with Adam, with the guys at Thermark, was just that he was so incredible at his job, had some really great support, and also just really competent and in a really good routine. So one of the things that you just touched upon, kind of the induction process, one of the things that Laura and Daz had done is put together like a portfolio of evidence really with those testimonials that Laura had spoken about from the guys, just to make sure that kind of Adam was meeting his responsibilities as an employee, and that obviously we'd really well documented kind of Adam's support needs going forward if we were fully withdrawing. So part of what I was looking at is just kind of making sure all those risk assessments around manual handling, around fire safety, all of those things were kind of current, and we'd, I suppose, planned for every eventuality really. But yeah, just Adam was so up and running within his role at Thermark. There wasn't really any further recommendations. I think it just goes to show how much everybody has kind of contributed to this journey, and just that it's been a fantastic success story, and was really good to see Adam kind of doing what he enjoys most.
You know, there was no other resources that could be put in place from an OT perspective and like a referral perspective either, because that was one of the things to go in there to see if there was anything additional that we could do, like with Thermark. But
so sometimes it might be things like reasonable adjustments in terms of, like you touched on earlier, are there any barriers to the environment that would support him to do his job better? Is there anything that's kind of overstimulating him in terms of when he's working day to day? But actually everything was absolutely on point, and was just doing a really independent job.
So fantastic employer, fantastic employee.
Yeah. And I think another thing that you'd said, Vicky, was that actually Adam was kind of picking up overtime, wasn't he? And like more social interaction with his peers, finishing cups of teas for, you know, other people at break times. And
yeah, he's got, I mean, the guys here, but there's not been one person in the building that's ever had any hesitation, which has been amazing to see as an employer. But these two guys in particular, and Morgan as well, because he couldn't be here today, but they are Adam's sort of main three job aides. They have been so supportive of him, and he's just a perfect fit, isn't he? He's
Like I
just
say,
really
he does
slotted in with the
everything. He's
team.
just got a smile on his face,
Yeah.
and you know, ask him to do out, and he's toddles off, does it without. You know,
He's always smiling
yeah,
and walking
always.
as well. It's like their best friend.
Got such
He
a
does,
good
Yeah.
even though he does to us, if we're having a laugh and a joke, you'll see him laughing and joking at us, which is nice to see.
Yeah.
It's fantastic because obviously he receives his prompts, you know, from the guys for lunch breaks and things like that, and he just, or if you need him to move areas of the building, and I mean, again, talk about speed, you can't keep up with
I
him.
can't keep up with him,
He's
can't
shooting
keep
as well
up with
across
him.
the unit.
Right.
Job, yeah. So it does feel like he's, you know, he's really fitted in, and that's on a social level as well as a professional one. So really, really pleased.
Amazing.
That's
So
great.
Vicky has shared some footage of Adam in the workplace, so I'm just going to try and share that now. She says so confidently.
I had to redo that bit.
Yeah, setting off the fire.
We had a first take where a fire test got done in the background, so we had to do a few takes.
Take 2.
Bear with me.
So how much overtime's Adam doing, Vicky?
Oh, sorry, yes, I didn't answer that bit, did I? So, yeah, we've had sort of a really busy few weeks, so he's managed to do.
I asked him to do 2 Fridays, didn't I?
Yeah, I think sort of 2 to 3 days. Yeah, and obviously that's something we discussed with his own before,
Yeah.
you know, that,
Yeah, brilliant.
so yeah, fantastic.
It's really good.
Okay, so here he is, everybody. Adam at Thermark.
Here you go, Adam. Adam, is that you?
You can quite clearly see from this, you know, once he's been set up with the task, he's more than able to do it
Just left to his own
independently.
devices, isn't he?
Yeah.
Confidence now.
That's not the alarm went off. See that on the box there, so.
Yeah, because Adam is able to copy shapes, as we know, so you literally do a template for him, don't
Yeah,
you? And
what
he-
he needs to write on the box, and he just copies it out word for word.
Okay, I could hear you in the background there. Would you just repeat, Thermark guys, what you were saying there, because the music was a bit too loud. So just for anybody who couldn't hear what you were saying. So we had the video to start with where he was kind of lining things up.
Yes. Oh, sorry, we couldn't hear any music.
I was going to say, did you have music, Laura?
Oh, I had a right beat going in my
Oh
office.
no, it was silent.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's great music.
I was enjoying the commentary.
Oh, Richard, will you repeat the commentary so I can try and overlay it?
Yeah, so just to sort of repeat, we were saying on the first clip where he's packing the lines of the boxes, you can sort of see that once he's been set up with the task, you know, he is able to complete that independently, which is fantastic. And then we were saying on the last one with the writing, weren't we?
Because obviously we have to write on what's in each box. If we just write out what we need Adam to write on the box, give him a pen, and he copies it word for word exactly where it needs to be and how it should be.
So the understanding isn't necessarily there of what he's writing, but he can copy those letters perfectly and do the job that you need him to do. That's amazing. So go on, Vicky, what do you think of Adam as an employee?
He, like we said before, he's just been the perfect fit for that role, and it's been a pleasure to have him, you know, well, to go through that process with him, to be involved in this as a placement. For us, it was never, like I think it is for some of the bigger companies potentially, it was never a box ticking exercise. It wasn't something we were looking to get any accolade for. It was simply a case of, I'd had a conversation with a friend at the football, and she said, oh, do you know, there's this brilliant young man, and I thought, okay, well, I think we could actually facilitate that because of what we do here, and it's just been a natural fit. As the guy said, he smiles away all day long, so you can tell he's enjoying what he's doing. and he moves around the building by himself, you know, for break times and things, goes and makes himself a cup of tea, like we said before, fills up other people's if they happen to be sat out. So he's just part of the team, and you know, it's a pleasure to have him.
Wonderful. So it's been an absolute pleasure being part of Adam's journey. You know, I always get emotional when I talk about Adam, so I apologise in advance for what I say now. He has come on such a long way, and to see this young man in paid employment is so well deserved. Zoe, Mum, anything you'd like to say about Adam, about where he is now, about other people going forward into supported internships?
Kind of blows my mind a bit, to be honest. It's just amazing, isn't it? Especially when you see the footage there of Adam busy at work. I mean, you just would never know he had a disability, would you? And his main disability, the fact that he's non-verbal and doesn't understand language, just shows you that there's not even language is a barrier. He's just done amazing, and we're very proud of him. And I think you're right. It is the perfect fit for him at Thermark. He's just found the perfect job for Adam. You can see how happy he is in the footage, and he's just had all the support from all of you. And I just can't quite believe it. I'm getting a bit emotional, actually, because he's just done brilliantly. And thank you to all of you.
I can honestly say on behalf of everybody else, it's been our absolute pleasure, Zoe, and we look forward to seeing Adam go from strength to strength. And obviously we will be keeping in touch with Thermark if anything was to change, because, you know, we need to be realistic that jobs change. Things might change for you, Thermark, so that maybe the job that he's currently doing isn't an option anymore. So we will always be there in the background for the future for Adam.
Fantastic. And yeah, I would honestly encourage any company out there to you know, do what we've done, just be open-minded, because it has been a brilliant opportunity, and the support that we've had from all of you as well has been you know, massively appreciated. So thank you.
Couldn't have done it without them, could we?
No, it's been fantastic. And yeah, and Zoe, Mum, Adam is an absolute credit to you, so you should be very proud of him. He's brilliant.
Yeah, we are.
Zoe, Macy and I have been on a course the past Thursday and Friday, and on there they said, what is your job? And everybody said it's about getting young people into paid employment. And Hugh, who's leading the course, said, how many people say it's about supporting employers to employ a diverse workforce? And actually that is part of the job, and it's a bit of the job that maybe we overlook because the focus is all on the interns. But now Thermark has got a more diverse workforce because of the job that everybody here has done. So a huge well done, everybody. Thanks for your hard work and commitment to this Springboard project and our interns, and we look forward to more success in the future.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well done, Adam.
Yeah.
Yeah, well done, Adam. I think it also just shows how many employers there must be out there with some brilliant opportunities for young people. Like with Thermark, Vicky, it was just a bit of a chance conversation, wasn't it? But an excellent opportunity. So yeah, there must be hundreds out there.
Roll up employers who've been inspired by Thermark.
Laura, can I just mention our Big 10 for SEN while we're on here, if that's okay? Because we tend to rely on small, medium-sized companies, and we're really trying to get 10 big Cheshire East employers on board. And obviously the work that Thermark have done, they're a small company. They've got all the pressures of being a small company. They've had all the pressures of COVID as well, but they've stepped up and really just embraced this and gone, and everything, like you said before, anything I asked and said, we could do with having this in place for Adam, we could do with having this in place. Vicky wasn't phased and she just put it all in place. But we do struggle getting big employers to sign up because I think because of their bureaucracy, because of their layers of management, and because they just have to, everything has to be approved by so many people before they can make decisions. But we are really keen to try and get 10 big Cheshire East employers signed up to supporting our young people like Adam and making that commitment so that they can offer paid work for them. We have got 2 or 3 already big employers that are leading the way. UK, but we're trying to get more. So if we can share this video to some of the big employers and say, actually, if the small employers can do with all the pressures they've got, I'm sure some more of the bigger employers we can get on board, and they can reap some of the rewards of having an employee like Adam. Obviously Adam's taken now, but we can find other ones.
Well, watch out for him, Mark, he could be headhunted.
Yeah.
You're quite right, because at the end of the day, it's simply about skills for whatever job role, is suitable, isn't it? And like we keep saying, Adam's a perfect fit here, and there will be other opportunities with other companies for other people, and you'd hope they'd be a fit there as well. So I think it's clean.
And just to add, all of our interns, or all of the interns across Cheshire East, are all such a range of abilities. They've got some form of learning difficulty or disability. So Adam is one example, but we have a whole range of interns. So it's not to say that you need to have a warehouse. There, any job that you have, we would probably find an intern that could fill that vacancy. Yeah. So let's get some more employees. Thank you so much, everybody, for your time. Have a fabulous day, and this has been an absolutely wonderful start to my day.
Lovely.
Yeah. Very true. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, Adam.
Bye, Adam. Yeah.
Say bye. Bye. That's it. Okay. Return this on.